Right, you lot. Listen, I'd like to start this video off with a bit of positivity, but I simply can't. West Ham got battered 4-1 by Everton. Dominic Calvert-Lewin ran right, scored 2 goals. Richarlison got a deflected effort off, and I believe there was another goal thrown in there, you know. But listen, West Ham were really, really poor tonight. I'll touch on the 3 things that we learned. Obviously, they were all negative. I can't really find a positive. First and foremost, I'm going to start with Felipe Anderson. I thought was absolutely woeful tonight. I think particularly down that left-hand side, there was a real opportunity with Everton who pushed their fullback so high to get at them. And I thought Felipe didn't use his pace at all. He was very timid. He wasn't positive in his runs. I think he had 1 shot in 10 minutes, but it wasn't enough for him. He didn't affect the game. He's invisible at points. He isn't strong enough as a Premier League player. He's not physical enough. His work rate's poor. Every element of his game, and even the technical elements tonight, the touching, the pass, the shoots, the shots on goal, everything was off. Everything was off from Felipe Anderson, and I'm getting to that stage with him. I'm sure you lot feel the same, where I gave him a chance. I understand that there's the argument you play him in a 10. I'm not sure this guy's cut out for the league. You know, even beforehand, he wasn't consistent enough. I don't think he's good enough for the Premier League. Really poor from him tonight. Didn't affect the game. I could say it about a lot of players. That would bring me on to my second point, which is square pegs in round holes. Playing Robert Snodgrass and Mark Noble as holding midfielders is it's basically irresponsible. They're not mobile enough. They don't act as a good defensive foil for the back two. Declan Rice thrown into centre back tonight, albeit he has played there before and he has looked good. Tonight he didn't look on it. He couldn't deal with Calvert-Lewin's movement. Could have been for Calvert-Lewin's, I believe it was his second goal, where Iwobi's cut in and he's given too much space, and Aller's the bloke blocking it. You know, ultimately it has to be if Declan Rice is playing or Souček's playing, that's getting blocked. They weren't good enough tonight defensively for me. Nobes lost the ball on a number of occasions, and in the second half you see Everton begin to pick up a little bit more space in that midfield. The likes of Sigurdsson moving on. They brought on Decore as well, albeit through injury. They pushed it a bit higher. They began to bomb on, especially with the fullbacks. They found space in behind, and Everton obviously wrapped that game up with 2 goals. I hate the square. They shouldn't be anywhere. They won't be anywhere near the first team this season, Nobes and Robert Snodgrass for me, but it just shows you that West Ham needs to just stick with Rice and Souček. We don't have the squad depth, and that's a massive problem, and that's something that was on show tonight, and that is my third point. The lack of squad depth we talk about, and other fans talk about. You've got Anderson, Lanzini, Yarmolenko, all of them were absent tonight. All of them offered nothing. The holding midfielders were exceptionally poor. Now, when we look at our first team, particularly the performance against Wolves, we were very positive. We were defensively organised. We offered a lot. You know, you could argue that is a very good side, and we deserve the win. But then, if one of those players gets injured, and you have to play with Snodgrass as a holding midfielder or Felipe on the left-hand side, they're not offering what Arthur does or Declan Rice. And that's the issue West Ham have got. And what I would say as well, for me, that links into the lack of subs, which again, he didn't make any subs. I thought it was an appalling decision. He should have made it at half-time. He should have brought either a Jared Bowen on or particularly pushed Declan Rice into that holding midfield role to give a bit more protection. Again, he didn't do it. I'm starting to think now that he doesn't trust the players on the bench. You know, he really doesn't trust the players on the bench. You know, even Aller, I didn't think had too bad a game tonight with what chances he had. He doesn't trust them. And that's the problem. West Ham have got such an imbalanced side. We've got players there that he doesn't want to bring on that aren't going to play at West Ham. And ultimately, we're not bringing anyone in to replace those players. So it's a massively frustrating moment for me. It shows the lack of squad depth. It shows also the sort of willingness to do the square pegs and round hole situation. And again, Felipe was absolutely appalling. And if I'm David Moyes and I'm West Ham, I'm looking to move him on. But that was my post-match reaction to the 4-1 loss against Everton. Really disappointing result. I will be back very, very shortly with a Leicester preview with Leicester Fan TV. I will do my big match preview. I've done my homework on Leicester. And you will see Writer's Block return on Saturday before another watch-along for the Leicester game. Massively disappointing performance tonight. Nothing like the Wolves game. Let's hope it improves. So until next time, take care.